Hello, everybody. I'm making lots of money now. I'm a money maker, maker of money. Not really, but I have decided to continue YouTubing and streaming until it works. And I'm starting to turn into a pile of bones over here. But I'm going to tell you all about my day. I went back to that car shop and they're really fucking me around. I think they're actually committing insurance fraud, but that part doesn't have anything to do with me. And as long as the car gets repaired, I'm fine, really. That's them defrauding an insurance company, because I think what they were doing is doing like I forget the exact term, but where they make repairs that are unnecessary or labor that's unnecessary overbill the insurance company. Because I was looking at the bill, and for one, there's things that were replaced that I don't think needed to be, and then the things that did need to get replaced weren't, and the wiring still messed up. And then they had a PDF file that was in the email with the quote, but it wasn't actually posted in the email. It was like a cloud link, and they changed like the quote when I said that I was going to go back to insurance and like argue it. So I think they're actually doing something to me here, and I hope that it's not actually anything that would damage my car, that they did like a chop shop thing to my car. That they just kind of like, if they fix things that didn't need to be fixed and it's not damaging my car, like, and like, I don't really care too much, but the wiring wasn't fixed. And the problem is I went back and they made it worse. And now that the rear is out, and it actually, like, the wiring is in a mess or something, because it actually overheated and like it melted like the bulb now. So like they actually made it worse, which was the reason I went there to begin with. So they're doing something stupid, and I have to have like the insurance company look at it through like and maybe like third party or something, and go to a different shop or whatever. And it's a big hassle now, and it's annoying. And then I have the work stress. My job is annoying, and I really should have went into a trade when I was younger, but I don't think I had the mental aptitude at that time, and I was kind of like a mental case, and I was on a bunch of like prescription pills that the doctor gave me, and I think I didn't really need to be on the cocktail of prescription drugs they gave me. I think it was just autism and kind of not having any friends, and they kind of pumped me up with drugs, and kind of probably is why I'm kind of in my head all the time, like a hamster on a wheel now, just kind of lost at sea, so to speak. But I don't want to put any blame on like one life event, or even try to paint the picture that I'm destitute, because I do have a job, and I do have like a couple hobbies now, and I've been doing better now than I have in 5 or 6 years. But it's really like the amount of good I'm doing, and like the track that I'm on is probably equivalent to what I should have been on when I was like 17 or something. So it's pretty harsh to look at that. But my job is kind of, I've been at the same job for 7 years. There's zero chance of moving up at all. I've tried many times, and they went with an outside hire on the main kind of make it or break it after like 6 years of loyalty type thing. So I need to figure something out with that. But at the same time, I don't really have like the grind in me right now. I kind of need to touch base with like church or friends, or make friends and then touch base with them. More, I'm kind of craving social life than status or money, but you kind of need a bit of status to make friends, it seems, because everyone's kind of hyper focused on that right now. But maybe I'm looking in the wrong places, but it feels like there's life markers that I've missed. And I think the real alpha male at my age would have had a wife and kids by now. And there's a lot of people kind of dooming about wife and kids online, and like the divorce rates, and no fault divorce, and taking half your stuff and all that kind of thing. And I think divorce laws do need to change. And I think having the mom only in charge of the kids after divorce, and kind of a lot of like, I don't want to sound like Andrew Tate or anything, but there is a lot of kind of quote unquote war on men kind of stuff going on with the way that divorces are, and things like that. But I think the alpha male, like the whole king of the hill thing, is really, at my age, it would have been to be married, have a house, and have kids. And I think everyone knows that. Like, even like the people that have the micro bangs and the blue hair, and the nose piercing, like the kind of whole Portland trope, I think even them know, and they're kind of doing this weird rebellion thing. But they're gonna wake up eventually alone. Maybe they won't. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong way. I don't even know. I'm kind of, like I said, lost at sea. But I don't know what I'm gonna do at this point. I'm kind of like, people see me as like a mark almost now, because like this car place saw me as a sucker and wanted to screw me over, and my employer is doing the same thing. And maybe that's just being a man, is getting effed in the A all the time and having to suck it up and move forward. But I can't figure out how to make it out of this kind of non-lifestyle that I'm in, always walking on a tightrope. But I want to keep podcasting, but I don't really have anything to say, because I had this channel monetized for a while, and they took it away because I made a meme about the Luigi situation, and they flagged it for terrorism, which it wasn't. So I kind of have like a dim faith that this channel can work, because it has worked before. But it took like 5 years of grinding to make it work. And like, I think 5 years of grinding right now, I'm kind of more in the mood of like 5 years of laying down and not getting up. But I got to keep attempting to do some sort of content on the side when I'm working this job and dealing with my car. And then maybe I'll see my uncle soon and talk to him. I'm not really close with my uncles. I've talked about them a little bit on this channel. I kind of want to be closer to them, but they're not in the same town I'm in. And there's a weird family history with my dad kind of beefing with them. And I don't really talk to my dad anymore, but I probably should actually talk to my dad a bit more as well. Not that he has any real advice for me, because he kind of, his whole life has been like, kind of like, people see like kind of like the generic kind of like long talk YouTuber solo cast. Kind of what I'm doing is kind of like, maybe that they had like some sort of issue with the father or whatever. And that is true, but like, my father kind of had the same issues as me. Like, I'm not far off my dad, and I don't think I've underachieved my dad either. I think I need to forgive him for some of the things he did, and vice versa. But I think he doesn't have any advice for me at this time. Like, I can't see him having any advice, because I don't want to talk shit about my dad anymore. I did when I was younger, but like, I guess the only way I can really say, like, I think he might have like some kind of schizophrenia or something. Like, he's not like the typical kind of dad. Like, he was living in a van for a long time, and he never really made it out into kind of conventional success himself. So I'm not the kind of point I'm trying to make is I'm not like some kind of like liberal arts student who's like his dad was like a engineer or accountant or something, and I'm like rebelling and saying, no, I want to make poems for my life. That's not what this is. There is a little bit of that, to be completely honest. Like when I was a kid, I was stupid and I wanted to be a rapper or something, but it's not that, because every kid I see that's into that has like some kind of successful, stable home that they came from, and they just hate it for some reason, and they want to kind of live on the edge. And I kind of want to have stability, but I just can't find it. And I don't think my dad would have that either, because he's less stable than me even, is kind of the point I'm making. So I think to see my uncle would be the best thing. His brother and my mom's brother, because they would be kind of like more stereotypically alpha male and maybe have more advice for me to get out of whatever rut I'm in. But I think I might have actually spun my wheels into making this permanent, kind of what rut I'm in mentally, because I'm not really there, and I've kind of resorted to this channel. I'm no longer really trying to do my nature videos, although I can't really drive right now because I don't want to screw up the wiring. I'm kind of more resorting to these long talk kind of schizo posts that no one really watches. They watch like 30 seconds of it, and it might get my viewership up enough to get back into the partnership program. And then kind of the views I had from 10 years ago on like the videos that I have like 1 million views on, that are kind of just talking about reviews or whatever, will get a little bit of cash flow going into them again. Hopefully have a little bit of passive income on this, because I'm kind of out of ideas, and I've probably spent too much time sitting alone thinking of ideas and not, executing on ideas. Like there's this new trend, the retard maxing thing. You just do it, like kind of like the Nike logo, and I can't really just do it because I have such strict, rigid thought patterns and just the way that I think, and I need to kind of try to get out of that. And I tried not last summer, but 2 summers ago, when I was working as like a lawnmower, and I was kind of doing these maintenance tasks at like a retirement home. I was microdosing mushrooms, and I was trying to break out of like how stiff I am. Like I had an ex-girlfriend always tell me, you're way too stiff, and like I'm not really kind of fun to be around. I'm kind of like I just kind of stand there like a pole. And then when I get home, I can kind of unwind a little bit, and I can kind of talk a little bit fluid on these things. But like I'm not able to really talk or open up to people in person, and I'm not really able to like eat around people. Like I have really bad anxiety when I'm around people and eating, and like my stomach has a problem where I can't like even digest food when I'm kind of in a social setting or around people. Like it takes a lot to kind of calm myself down to just kind of eat around other people. And it got to a really bad point where I wouldn't even kind of leave the place here. Like I wouldn't go out in public really, even like for a couple of years. That was like maybe 8 years ago. It was kind of before COVID. Like I had kind of my own personal mental thing that kind of did like a self-imposed COVID like 2 years before COVID, and then COVID happened, and then it prolonged it for like another 2 years. So I was out, like everyone was out for COVID for like a year. I was out for COVID for like 4 years, and it really did something to the way that I think. And I was on a lot of medications, mostly like antidepressant medications, but like a cocktail of them. They were kind of layering them on at the time. So I was kind of out of like public life for like almost 4 years on like all these pills, and I'm kind of don't even know who I am anymore. And that's kind of where I'm at with like this whole like I don't even know where to begin. Like I have like a part-time job that I'm working now. I had like a second one a while ago, and I was just grinding those, but I have like no formal education. I was grinding those, and then I have a couple like interests that are really like physical, and I'm not like a very athletic person, so it's kind of like a mismatch and a bottleneck, and that's kind of the only social outlet that I have is kind of MMA, and I'm not really that good at it. It's like my third space. So I don't really know where I'm going to go from here. Like I was writing kind of like jokes to try to start like doing stand up, and it was really like Arthur Fleck type stuff, cuz like not like violent or anything, but it just kind of, I cringed myself out with that vibe when I was writing it, cuz like I have like no like kind of, like you think of a stand-up comic, and like a lot of the comics I see are kind of like talking like, you know, memories, and I don't have any real memories or references. Like it's almost like it like I wouldn't know what I'm talking about, even talking about my own life, making jokes about my own life. It feels like at times. And then that takes a lot of courage to do, and you know, I probably have to jump into something like that at least to like kind of rip the band-aid off socially and get myself like reintegrated. But I'm getting older, and I'm kind of getting more cautious, and like I've had like the one thing that I've had is like a clean slate, because I haven't really communicated with many people, and like we're kind of still in the age of cancel culture and stuff, and people can, you know, you can say the wrong thing, and then it's kind of advanced to like these hyper vigilant kind of ingrained like positions and code switching, and like I'm not very fluent in it, and every time I step out of line, like I'm always kind of like, I don't really believe in like kind of the left and the right thing anymore, but when I'm kind of talking to somebody who's more traditionally to one side, and I'm kind of trying to play devil advocate kind of to both sides, like I'm trying to form my own opinions, and kind of trying to like not be so ingrained in like the ideology. And it seems like everyone's kind of just on algorithms, everyone's on kind of grind set, hustle. And I feel like life kind of passed me by, like it went on without me. Like I was kind of in this room really for like 4 years, and kind of everything changed within those 4 years, and it kind of, the whole world kind of carried on without me. Like it was almost like I died and I came back, and I came back with the same problems that put me down in the first place. So it's not like I had those 4 years that kind of cured me from whatever problems I had in the first place, and now I'm kind of stronger and better, but it's I wasted those years, and I'm still left with the same problems that are now compounding into new problems. So I don't know why I'm sharing all this, but it's the only thing that kind of comes to mind, and that's kind of what I'm doing with this channel right now. Is I'm just kind of talking what comes into my head, and it can really vary from video to video. And I'm going through a lot right now, and I've recently started going to church again on Sundays, and I'm considering volunteering there, and I might get fired. They're really trying to push me out, and it seems personal based, not work related based. It seems like they've had enough of me. And if that happens, I'll most likely volunteer at the church, and just not get paid, but try to reintegrate myself socially and do good, and maybe feel good about myself, and rack up some small wins here and there. I still think about starting a trade later in life, but it still comes back to the same problems with kind of just how I am as a person, and just kind of the way that I'm very strict and ritualized in my day to day. And like, I do have like official diagnoses about that. But I'm trying to lean more into religion and responsibility and away from kind of psychology and pharmacology. And it hasn't worked. Neither has worked. And I think I'm already maxed out at the responsibilities that I can really handle. And it's not going to be enough to really, not even just to make it. Like, you hear like no one's coming to save you, you know, you're not going to make it. But it's not even make it. Like, it's, I don't know, but I would say in the bottom 1% of performers right now. I would say that I need to really figure out my eating habits for sure, because that's one of the most rigid things about me. It's kind of a refusal to try new foods, and it's something to do with the texture of the food, which might have something to do with autism. It also is really ingrained in my head, and I'm not very comfortable opening up around people and having them see my reaction. So to try a new food around somebody, like, I don't want to reveal anything to anyone ever. I just feel like that's probably a trauma response from when I was a kid, and I don't really know how to fix that. Like, I was trying the microdosing. Talk therapy didn't do anything. The pharmacology didn't do anything. I'm trying to pick up religion, but like, I've always kind of, in my adult life, like, not as a teenager, I was an asshole as a teenager, but throughout my entire adult life, I've always turned the other cheek, and I've always tried hard, and I've always worked hard, and like, it's never went anywhere. And I can definitely say that when I don't work hard, or when I'm not being the best I can be, I'm knocked down immediately and punished for it. But I can't say that working hard or being friendly has actually done anything other than keep me on, the wheel and kind of treading water, which is probably life. But I mean, the highest good that you can grab onto is what Jordan Peterson says, and like, mine is pretty low if this is it, and it's going to be washed away into nothing pretty soon, where I truly wouldn't have made it, like, even enough to feed myself if I don't figure out my life, which I can't seem to do. And I can seem to articulate that I can't do it, but I can't actually do it. There's something blocking, there's something in the way. There's some trauma in me that's deep, and it's fucked my whole life. And I can't let go. And I probably, where I'm at with religion is probably that I can't forgive. It's probably that I can verbally say I forgive, but I still don't trust, and I still don't let it go when something really affects me negatively. And I think that's where I'm at with the Bible and with the teaching and the good news, is I think I need to learn how to forgive. And that's probably, maybe that's what I need to see my dad about, is to actually just see him, not expecting him to have any guidance or wisdom or any advice, and maybe even the opposite of him giving me bad advice, because he wound up actually worse off than where I'm at right now. So maybe just to sit with him and maybe just talk to him. I tried that like a couple years ago, and he was accusing me of being on drugs, which I wasn't. I've never been a drug guy. I was on the prescription pills that the doctor gave me, which originally was his idea, and I was already off for like 2 years when I sat down with him. And he was kind of just accusing that I was on drugs because I was just kind of questioning him. And he was denying things that clearly happened and trying to kind of gaslight me. And it was kind of just, he's giving like hate-filled speeches, and he was saying that he lives in like a van and he has a trailer full of like bear traps and cucumber seeds, and he's a prepper now, and he has like a website where he's like photoshopping people he doesn't like into like porn. Like he's an internet troll, and he's like 70 years old. So it's like, I don't know what sitting down with him would even do, because I've already tried it. I think that was like the 4th time, and it's the same thing every time. But he has that whatever trauma I have, like he's passed it on to me, so he has some sort of trauma and some sort of block.